So, good morning and welcome back. It's been over a month. I've been very busy with work and other things, so I haven't been able to come back down. Unfortunately, the tarp that was covering the roof blew off a few weeks ago, and then it snowed, and then it rained, and then the sun came out, and the sun went away again yesterday evening as we arrived. So, as you can see, it's still open up there, but most of what was done is still pretty good. So there's a lot of little things to do, but the big thing to do is to get it covered. So that's the rest of the tiles, and the first thing I'm going to do is go and get the trailer and head down into town and load up another pallet of tiles. That'll be then our third pallet of tiles, I think, and then I need to carry them all up onto the roof before I start doing anything else, because I'm going to roof myself out, if you like. So I'll then have to climb down, and I don't want to be climbing them up ladders. So over here on the back side, everything's good. I'm going to have to trim down those tiles. I've got what I need. Get the metalwork set up against the wall there. There's my escape hole when I'm finished to climb out of. So we got almost to the top on this side. As you can see, it looks fine on this side. Obviously when the tarp blew off, it took some tiles off the old loo, and it just ripped itself clear. There was apparently a bit of a storm, and it just ripped the whole thing out. Okay, as you saw, we got our tiles hopefully enough to finish up. I think they should be. So it looks as it did when we left it. All looks pretty good. Need to finish up that row and the other row on that side, but we'll do that last. First thing I'm going to do is keep going on this side with another row of underlay, and then half battens up to get hopefully another 2 or 3 rows of tiles on. And that 150 will take us almost to the ridge, but not quite. I have a helper down here, so no.
Hello.
And he's going to help by passing things up and making sure that things don't fall on him. So yeah, that's about it. We're just going to get cracking. I've measured across. I'm going to cut the piece of underlay and cut the little bits of wood, and then we should be good to go. Okay, well, we're tearing along there. This is going quite well. I probably shouldn't have said that, but here we go. So I've left, again, half a thing so I can fold this over and bring all of those tiles up from inside and lay them, and then the last rows here and there, and hopefully I have enough slats. I think I do. I can then do from out here. I'll stack everything up and then climb in through my hole. So I'm still on that plan. That plan hasn't changed so far. So yeah, it's not too bad. You can see it's slightly overcast today. Still a wonderful view, but it is remarkably warm for February. It is only whatever it is, the 18th, I think, of February now. So time has been flying away, but it's about 15 degrees. I think you can hear the birds chirping away, and very soon all of this will be in bloom. So on this side of the roof, it's much narrower. Well, much narrower, yeah, it is quite a bit narrower. So I haven't had to do any cutting, and I've just been able to nail these on, which has made things go a lot faster. So the next step is really to go and get 60 odd tiles and tile up to here. I might even have time to do some cutting, some tile cutting later on, or tomorrow morning. We'll have to see. Well, tomorrow's Sunday. I don't want to. Makes a terrible noise chopping these things with an angle grinder, but yeah, it's pretty good actually. It really is pretty good. So yeah, I'm very pleased with this. I'm going to go and get the tiles. The most important thing really is to get it 99.9% waterproof, because I can't leave it open again as it was, and the tarp will always end up blowing off or getting destroyed as soon as the winds pick up, and they do in spring. We'll get a few spring storms. So yeah, right, I'm going to go and get some tiles. They are down there. I'm going to load them onto the quad, then carry them up the little steps, then carry them up the ladder, then carry them up the other ladder, and then spread them out on the roof. Oh, so you can hear I'm slightly out of breath. I carry the tiles up the ladder, then balance them on this beam. Then I climb up this ladder, which I then keep moving. Oops. And then I can lay them out. And it is strangely satisfying laying tiles, to be honest. After all the schlepping and everything else, it's probably the easiest step, but certainly getting there. And you see I'm laying across now in a diagonal, so I don't have to keep moving backwards and forwards. And then there will be exactly 3 more rows of tiles to the ridge, and 1 more on this side. But what I'm going to do is overlap another piece of this, so it goes over the top, and it'll go over the top of this, but underneath this, and that will create well, a water barrier, but also a vent, so it'll vent the roof out from the top, which is quite useful. Oops. So yeah, I have a couple of tiles to finish there, and it's basically just 1 row and 3 rows and the rest of this, so 4 more rows of tiles. I did 3 this morning. Admittedly, it's going to be the most complicated ones to do, but I think we're pretty good. It's now lunchtime-ish, so it is carnival, unfortunately carnival is great, but that means that at some time in mid-afternoon half the village is going to come traipsing up wanting drinks as they go house to house, and then we shall all have a village bit of pasta asciutto, noodles, pasta up in the Corpi. So yeah, then it's just a matter of reaching in, grabbing a tile without knocking all of the other ones off, and laying it in. We only screw down the ends because they all lock together, so, and they're also extremely heavy, so that should be fine. So yeah, then when I have more time, when it's sort of springtime and I'm here for a week, maybe around Easter or something, I shall cut all of the half tiles to go up the edges, fit the metalwork. It is now, as you can see, foamed out, so there's no water that will get in that side, and there is a slight overhang anyway. There's no water that will get in that side. Here it goes right off the edge of the roof, so there's no water that will be coming in there. I have metalwork for both sides, but that's going to take some time, and that'll be nice and easy to do from on top of the roof with a battery-powered angle grinder. So I just want to get it covered up to here and overlapped. I won't put the ridge on now either, and then all of the finishing bits at a later date. But no more water will be coming into this house. Okay, well, that's another 3 completed rows, which means there's only really 4 rows to go now. I have to go and get the tiles for 4 rows, so that's about 4 times 20. So that's yeah, about 80 tiles that we're going to need to get up here, so I'll probably put a few more up just in case, and I can always push them through there, and I will need them eventually when I'm cutting, and I'll be coming back through that hole as well. So so yeah, and that's if we don't include driving down to the builders merchants and picking up, although we probably should. It's still, sometimes when I sit at home and I'm having a boring, lazy Saturday morning, I kind of think, oh well, what's the point? But this is how much you can get done on a Saturday morning. It's super satisfying. So yeah, the weather's holding, everything's holding. I'm going to go and get set up, because that's going to be the next big thing, is really just setting up. So I need to get all of those 80 tiles plus the few there at the end up here onto the roof. I need to get all of the wood up onto the roof. I need to get a little handsaw up onto the roof. I need to get my compressor line through somewhere up onto the roof so that I can get all of that stuff down later on. Still not quite sure how I'm going to get out, because if you remember a few years ago I was in here. There's a crawl space. I have to crawl down here, and then there I can just squeeze through. I used to be able to just squeeze through on my tummy. I have put on a bit of weight since then, so hopefully I don't get completely stuck. And then I can come back out the other side, and I'll come out of that above the that little terrace there. I sort of come out in a crawl space above there, and I'll have no way to get down because my ladder is here, and I need my ladder to get up when I start doing this. So I shall have to think of something clever to do when I get round to the other side. But for now, I'm going to get the quad, and I'm going to start bringing tiles and tiles and tiles and tiles, because yeah, because we're looking pretty good here actually, and I really want to get this properly waterproofed. And in fact, sitting here, it's just so tempting to kind of say, oh well, I'll just do that little bit there because that's looking very poorly as well, and that'll look nice, and then I might as well do this little bit here as well. But that is in fact quite a big bit. It's yeah, and it's even higher than this. But yeah, you know, once you start, you want to get it all done because it looks great. In fact, I'm going to go and head over to that little terrace, and I'll show you what it looks like from over there now. Well, yeah, as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to reaching the top, and it's looking great. Really, really happy with that. Yep, so get the quad down, go and get some tiles. And there we go. And there they all are. So those are stacks of 10s, 40, 50, that should be 12, 62, and then up in the house there's another 3 stacks of 10, and yeah, 3 stacks of 10. So we got a little bit over 90 tiles ready to go up, and I need to carry them all up and spread them out so that they're not too heavy in any particular point, but that I can grab them easily, but that they won't get in the way. And obviously on the last one I managed to cut myself on one of the tiles just getting onto the quad. I guess these are now the most expensive tiles in the world, having schlepped them with various cars and quads and what have you. But there we go. That is going to be it for tiles. So that's, except of course the little half tiles and the finishing bits, but I mean that for the main part of the roof, and there are still some tiles as you saw left in the trailer, so that's perfect. So now it's just a matter of schlepping them all up. I'm going to go and get myself a glass of water first because it's pretty thirsty. Okay, so that was an exhausting job, but I've got all of the tiles that I'm going to need up onto the roof for both sides, all of my lines, so 4 complete rows, and then we're done. Now I'm going to get all of the wood up and get it all set up, and I'm going to prepare this. I'm going to have a half a piece of this that'll flop over the top, and then I'm probably going to stop for the day, because by that point the carnival boys have been writing me that they're on their way into town, which is basically everyone from the 3 or 4 villages around, and that's also one of the reasons I'm here. It's not just a working weekend, it's also a fun weekend. So I also need to get my costume on, which, well, I'm not going to give you a spoiler now, you'll see it in a few minutes I guess. So yeah, get the wood, get everything set up so that tomorrow morning I can climb up here, because the thing is, the next step is going to lock me out onto this roof, and there will be no more coming down. So I don't want to be stuck up here and then in 2 hours time want to get down, so or in 1 hour's time I guess. So what I'm going to do is get everything set up, everything ready, and it shouldn't be a massively long day tomorrow getting everything done. So yeah, it looks good. We're getting very close to waterproofing, which is good news. Okay, well, as you can see, I'm now roofed out, except not completely. I am going to be able to fold this up and climb down here, which is what I'm going to do now. Have a shower. It's getting dark and you can hear people are moving around the village already. It's about to kick off, so I don't want to miss the beginning. So I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to get down and get ready and then head up to the top of the village. And there's a quick look at how it looks now. Unfortunately, there are now 2 of my pencils in the gutter, or not in the gutter, it sounded like they dropped in the gutter. They obviously just stopped on that bit of metal work at the bottom, then they fell through underneath. Oh. But yeah, I'm out of pencils, which is a pain. I'll have to go and steal another one from my son. But there we go, an excellent day's work. I'm off for a shower.
È una provocazione, capisci? Da vacca. Dov'è il vigneto? Io voglio il vigneto. No, scherzate. Voglio, ho fatto 2
Abbiamo iniziato presto.
Okay, well, good morning and welcome back. It is bright and early the next morning. As you can see, it's a little bit foggy, and I don't know if you can see it, there is quite a lot of condensation here. It didn't rain, but it did get a bit damp in the night. So yeah, we'll just basically pick up exactly where I left off yesterday, which is the last few spacers, and then get the slats on, and then get the tiles on, and then head back to Innsbruck. So it's going to be a busy day. Okay, as you can see, the first 2 are on. There's just the last one to go up here, and that's made it a lot more comfortable for me working up here, because I have something more to sit on than a little tiny sliver with my not so tiny bottom. So yeah, I'm sorry, this is more of a talking than actually seeing me doing. I'm going to try and put the camera in the niche there, and get film some slow motion stuff of me sweating and nailing, and then perhaps tiling as well. Okay, well, the backside is tiled up, There's a bit of wood that fell down, or I kind of chucked down actually, to be completely honest, and without thinking. That'll land in the little pathway at the bottom when it next rains, I guess. So I briefly considered back tiling across, but I'm not going to. It seems like a silly thing to do. So I'm going to forward tile, basically from here all the way across to there, and then walk back across them and then climb through my little hole. And for that, I shall put you back onto time lapse. Okay, well, still got obviously the ridge to do. That comes in last. I haven't even got the tiles for that, and the edges as well, so the half tiles, and I have a little battery powered angle grinder, but it is now 100% waterproof, so it's going to stay like that because well, once again, as always, run out of time, so yeah, and money. So it's time to pack up, but I'm really happy with that. I'm going to get the drone out. I'm going to fly above and see just how much you see the fact that the lines aren't super straight, but I think we're okay. I really do. Hang on a second. And now, as if just to prove a point, one last time, it started raining. It definitely wasn't supposed to rain according to my iPhone, so, but there we go. Look at that. That was a lot of sweat, but we're pretty good. Okay, well, now it's time to find out if my plan will work, which means me getting through here. I have to move those tiles out of the way and then crawling along through the space there. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's pretty tight, and I guess I could have worn long trousers for this, but I can't even have that on my tummy, but I'm sort of in the hole already, so I can squeeze myself along here. Sorry for filming. I need this as a torch too. You see the little crawl through down there. That is pretty tight. Reminds me of caving when I was a kid at school. And as you look up while we're here, you'll see that this roof is rubbish and completely needs redoing too. So if you go back and think of what that roof looked like before I started, this beautiful one out here, you'll see this is exactly what I've been trying to fix. this obviously has rotten through. They've had another beam and then kind of stacked it up, reinforced it a bit as high as it can go. You can even see there's been damp there, so obviously water coming in somewhere. There's a lot of stone and stuff up here to absorb it. But and this was obviously, or probably an external wall. I wouldn't think anyone would put a window in and between two attics, but it looks like it's shifted as well. Nice beam on top, but it stops right there. So all of this is basically just hashed together. It's not great, and it's not going to last forevermore. But also the spacing between these two beams is huge, and that's a lot of weight there in the middle. So there you go. Okay, right back on. Oh, it's pretty small. I'm guessing first on my back probably. First. Maybe time for me to lose some tummy. Oh, gee. Jeez. Okay. Looks like we're through. And here we are through the little hole above the little terrace. There's a ladder there, and I'm now going to try and twist my way onto it. Okay, well that's going to be it for this video. Finally got it waterproof. That's a great thing, especially now it's raining. So I'm not quite sure when I'll be back. I have to do some work traveling next week, and then, well, we'll see, might be Easter, hopefully before, but obviously as soon as I'm back here, you'll be the first to know, as always, with another video and another update. In the meanwhile, thank you all once again very much for your comments. Even if I don't post for weeks and weeks, I still get comments and emails. I'm sorry I haven't answered emails and things or comments much recently. Super busy at work, new job, and yeah, it's been a bit crazy, but I do read them mostly very early in the morning when I wake up, and I do really enjoy them, so thank you very much. Also, once again, thank you very much to everyone who bought me a coffee, everyone who bought a t-shirt, everything else. It all helps. This hasn't been a cheap project, I guess, with all the wood and the tiles and everything, but it has saved a lot of money, and it's taught me a lot. And well, the project was really that I do everything, so far so good. When I'm back, I shall do the finishing up, the little corner bits, and then I can move on to knocking down some walls inside. So, until then, I do hope you're all well. Take care, and bye-bye for now.